In what appears to be a novel strategy on the battlefield, the Russian Ministry of Defense has claimed that a remotely controlled tank loaded with a lot of explosives destroyed a Ukrainian stronghold. The ministry stated over the weekend, in a post on its Telegram channel, that the tank contained about 3.5 tons of TNT and 5 FAB-100 bombs. The payload of a FAB-100 bomb typically weighs 100 kilograms, 220 pounds. A Russian tank commander with the callsign Bernaul claimed in a video released by the ministry on Saturday that he was given the responsibility of preparing the tank and carrying out the attack. The tank operator manually switched on the vehicle's gas and directed it in the right direction, about 300 meters, 984 feet, away from the adversary. He jumped out and hid behind the vehicle. The commander stated, "I stayed behind to observe, and I detonated it by radio control after the vehicle approached the enemy's positions." He continued, "The explosion was very serious. There were a lot of explosives, and the enemy suffered significant losses, according to radio intercept data. The tank appears to have struck a mine close to Ukrainian lines, as captured on drone video. The reason for the massive explosion that follows is unknown. A flash that appears to be coming from Ukrainian positions just before the tank explodes may have been an attempt to destroy it." A prominent Russian war blogger known as Vony Ozvedomitel posted on Sunday a piece of pro-Russian Romanov channel drone footage that shows the tank going off. According to Ozvedomitel, the tank missed its target because of a mine. Sending a 6-ton TNT-laden unmanned kamikaze tank to Ukrainian positions in Mariinka. He was unfortunately blown up by a mine, and he didn't make it, he wrote. The incident cannot be pinpointed geographically, but the Mariinka region of Donetsk has seen a lot of fighting since the Russian invasion began. With Kyiv announcing additional territorial gains and Western analysts declaring that they have managed to seize the tactical initiative, the battle for Bakhmut continues to shift in Ukraine's favor. Ukrainian Deputy Defense Minister Hanna Maliar claims that Kyiv's forces advanced as much as 1 kilometer in some areas on Thursday, repelling a number of Russian attacks. In a post on Wire, she composed, "Bakhmut was targeted by the adversary throughout today. Our defenders repelled every attack. The southwest region of Bakhmut is under our control at the moment. The outskirts north of Bakhmut were also targeted by the adversary. Attacks were stopped. Our troops are moving 500 meters in advance in some areas. In the Bakhmut suburb in the south, fierce fighting continued throughout the day." The enemy went on the offensive and tried to get back the lost territories, but it lost and couldn't do its job. Our troops advanced 1 kilometer in some areas. A day earlier, Ukraine claimed that its troops had penetrated up to 500 meters in some areas around the city. We are aware that the 3rd Separate Assault Infantry Brigade is very active in the area around Bakhmut. Over the course of the past few days, numerous videos of them fighting there have been shared on social media. When recruitment offices in the capital were overflowing with reservists wishing to be assigned to a regular unit, the 3rd Separate Assault Infantry Brigade began the war in Kyiv. Many of these reservists joined the territorial defense battalions that were frantically forming in an effort to halt the Russian armored columns that were closing in on the city. The 3rd Assault is now heavily armed with captured Russian Soviet artillery, NATO-donated anti-tank missiles, mortars, M113 tracked armored vehicles, and the ubiquitous US-made HUMAV all-purpose vehicles mounted with venerable, but still effective, Meduz 50 machine guns. Previously, The third assault was only armed with Kalashnikov rifles and Molotov cocktails. The reconnaissance patrols of the 3rd, which fought for months in the southern sector, were among the first Ukrainian units to enter and liberate the city of Kherson in November 2022. On May 9, it was reported that elements of the 2nd Battalion, 3rd Assault Brigade carried out combined arms attacks on Russian positions southwest of Bakhmut and effectively defeated Russia's 72nd Motor Rifle Brigade. In advance of the long-awaited counteroffensive, Kyiv has stated that it is attempting to draw Russian forces into the city, weakening Russia's front lines. The Wagner mercenary group has the support of the regular Russian army on the ground, but Yevgeny Prigozhin, the group's leader, has repeatedly accused the military leadership of not providing his men with enough ammunition to capture the city. On Thursday, May 18, Prigozhin paints a gloomy picture of the situation. His troops are in by asserting that he has no chance of taking the city in the coming days and accusing regular Russian army units of retreating. Ukrainian forces have seized the tactical initiative and made tactically significant gains around Bakhmut in counterattack operations on May 18. According to the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, in its daily assessment on Thursday, the ISW stated that a number of Russian millbloggers claimed that Ukrainian forces drove through the Russian defensive lines south and southwest of Ivanivsky, 6 kilometers west of Bakhmut, and northwest of Klishchivka, 6 kilometers southwest of Bakhmut, from the northwest, confirming the Ukrainian account of events. Even though observers continue to question whether the capture of Bakhmut has any strategic significance, it would allow Moscow to claim victory after several humiliating defeats and has become a talisman for Ukraine's certain victory.